All right, so it looks like someone's prepping for a trip to Gdansk, Poland.
Yeah.
You sent over a couple of YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
I see one is all about travel, and the other one gives a wider view of the region.
Yeah.
And there's a website about Tricity now that's intriguing.
Yeah, it is.
So what are you hoping to get out of this deep dive?
Yeah.
Must-see sites, hidden gems, or the whole shebang?
Well, Gdansk looks like just a fascinating mix of history and modern life and that unique seaside vibe.
Right.
It's going to be fun digging into these sources and see what we can uncover.
I'm with you. One of the videos already has me picturing like colorful buildings along cobblestone streets and cafes, and
Yeah.
plus there's that shot of a pirate ship. What's the story there?
Oh, yeah.
But first, where exactly is Gdansk? I always forget.
Gdansk sits in northern Poland, right on the Baltic Sea.
Okay.
And that pirate ship is a clue to its rich history.
Okay.
We're talking over 1,000 years as a major port city and a key player in the amber trade. It even has ties to Shakespeare, but Gdansk also holds a darker significance as the site of the first shots of World War II.
Wow. Talk about a city of contrasts.
Yeah.
The YouTube video highlighted St. Mary's Basilica, calling it the largest brick church in all of Europe.
Right.
But it's more than just size, right?
Absolutely. Building a structure that massive in the 14th century is a testament to Gdansk's wealth and ambition as a trading hub.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the architectural challenges they must have faced?
Oh, yeah.
It's a marvel of engineering, especially for that time period.
And speaking of marvels, there's an astronomical clock inside St. Mary's Basilica that dates back to the 1400s.
Yeah.
I've always been fascinated by those intricate mechanisms. It's mind-blowing how people created such precise instruments centuries ago.
It really is. Those details give us a glimpse into the lives and ingenuity of people from another era,
Right.
connecting us to the past in a tangible way.
Now, shifting gears a bit, the YouTuber visited the World War II Museum, located on the waterfront. Did you know that Westerplatte, just off the coast, was where the first shots of the war were fired?
Oh, wow.
Apparently, you can take a pirate ship tour to the site, which seems like a pretty unique way to experience history.
It's fascinating how Gdansk blends its past with its present.
Yeah.
The YouTuber mentions sailing past industrial shipyards on the way to Westerplatte. What a powerful juxtaposition of the historical weight of the site and the bustling modern economy.
Yeah.
Did they reflect on how the city has evolved over time?
That's a great question. I need to go back and rewatch that part of the video.
Okay.
They did mention exploring the ruins of the old barracks at Westerplatte where the first shots were fired.
Right.
I can't imagine what kind of emotions that experience must have evoked.
Right.
It must be incredibly moving to stand in a place that witnessed such a pivotal moment in history.
It certainly is, and from what we're seeing, Gdansk provides ample opportunities for those kinds of reflections.
Yeah.
But we'd be remiss if we didn't delve deeper into this Tricity concept.
Okay.
Gdansk is only one part of the story, right?
Right. The website mentions Gdynia, and one of the videos touches on it.
Huh.
I'm curious to hear more about Gdynia and Sopot.
Absolutely. Gdynia, with its modern port and focus on maritime attractions, seems like a great counterpoint to Gdansk's historical charm.
Okay.
It's a bustling hub showcasing Poland's economic growth and connection to the sea.
It's interesting how Gdynia reflects the region's evolution over time, from a historic trading center to a modern economic powerhouse.
Oh, right.
So what's special about Gdynia?
Well, it boasts an aquarium, naval museums, and even ship museums where you can actually explore a destroyer and a fully rigged sailing ship.
Wow.
It's a maritime enthusiast's dream.
Sounds like it.
But beyond the attractions, I'm curious about Gdynia's role as a major port. What's its economic impact, and what about the environmental considerations of such a bustling shipping hub?
Those are excellent points.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to dig deeper into those aspects.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about Sopot.
Right.
What sets it apart from the other two cities?
Sopot is described as an elegant seaside resort, and it's home to the longest wooden pier in Europe.
Wow.
Imagine strolling along that pier, breathing in the fresh sea air, taking in the views.
It sounds lovely, though. I have to admit, I'm a little confused about how Sopot fits into this elegant image when it also features a building called the Crooked House.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what even is a crooked house? It sounds crooked.
It's a whimsical piece of architecture that seems to defy gravity. It actually fits into Sopot's blend of elegance and playfulness, a place where you can enjoy both sophisticated architecture and quirky attractions.
Speaking of experiencing Gdansk, let's talk about the food scene.
Okay.
Those pierogies in the YouTube video looked incredible,
Yeah.
especially in that cozy wooden restaurant in the old town.
Yeah.
What more can you tell us about them?
The YouTuber raved about the pierogi, saying they tasted even better than they looked. And apparently the restaurant had a traditional wooden interior, adding to the overall charm of the experience.
Okay, now you're just making me hungry.
Yeah.
I can practically smell the pierogi and hear the chatter of fellow diners. It sounds like the perfect way to soak up the atmosphere of Gdansk's Old Town. But before we get too carried away planning our culinary adventures,
Right.
I'd love to hear more about the Crooked House in Sopot.
Mm-hmm.
What makes it so unique architecturally?
Okay.
I mean, did the architect just wake up one morning and decide to build a wonky building?
Well, it's certainly a head-turner. The Crooked House was actually designed by Zotesi and Zaleski, drawing inspiration from fairy tale illustrations and the whimsical architecture of Antoni Gaudí.
Okay.
Its curved facade and distorted windows create a sense of optical illusion, making it look like it's melting or dancing.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's not just crooked for the sake of being crooked. There's a real artistic vision behind it.
Right.
I wonder if anyone's ever gotten lost trying to navigate that building.
That's a great question. I can only imagine how disorienting it must be to walk through those curved hallways.
Yeah.
But perhaps that's part of the charm, a chance to experience architecture in a completely new and unexpected way.
You know, it strikes me that Tricity as a whole seems to offer this delightful mix of the historical and the modern,
Yeah.
the grand and the whimsical. We've got Gdansk with its 1,000-year-old history, Gdynia with its bustling port and ship museums, and Sopot with its elegant pier and gravity-defying Crooked House.
Right.
It's like a microcosm of Poland itself, a country that's both deeply rooted in its past and boldly embracing the future.
That's a fascinating observation, and it speaks to the dynamic nature of this region.
Yeah.
It's a place where you can experience the weight of history one moment and the vibrancy of modern life the next.
I'm starting to see why you're so intrigued by Gdansk. It's not just a city, it's a tapestry of stories, a symphony of experiences.
Exactly, and we've only just scratched the surface. There's so much more to uncover, so many more layers to explore.
Well, I'm ready to dive in.
Okay.
But before we do, I have a question. All this talk of landmarks and attractions is great.
Yeah.
But what about the everyday life in Gdansk? What's it like for the people who actually live there?
That's an excellent question. It's easy to get caught up in the touristy aspects,
Right.
but understanding the rhythm of daily life is essential to truly grasping the essence of a place.
Exactly. What are their routines? What are their hopes and dreams? What challenges do they face?
Right.
These are the kinds of questions that can provide a deeper understanding of Gdansk beyond the guidebooks.
I agree. And those are questions we can explore further as we delve into the heart of this city and the stories of its people.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. It's fascinating to consider, like, how the city's past shapes the lives of its residents today.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a sense of pride in Gdansk's resilience, having weathered so many storms throughout history?
You know, I hadn't thought about it that way, but it makes sense. It's like that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Right.
Gdansk has faced so much adversity, wars, political upheaval, economic hardship,
Right.
yet it continues to thrive.
Yeah.
There must be a certain spirit, a determination that runs deep within the people.
And that resilience is likely reflected in their everyday lives, their work ethic, their community bonds.
Right.
It would be interesting to explore how those historical experiences have shaped their cultural values and perspectives.
Definitely. It's making me think about how we often focus on, like, the grand narratives of history.
Right.
But it's the individual stories, the everyday lives of people that truly paint a complete picture.
Yeah.
I'm curious to learn more about the personal side of Gdansk, beyond the historical landmarks and tourist attractions.
Speaking of those landmarks, let's circle back to St. Mary's Basilica for a moment.
Okay.
The YouTuber mentioned that it took over 150 years to build, starting in the mid-1300s.
Wow.
That's an incredible feat of engineering and craftsmanship, especially for that time period.
I can't even imagine the level of dedication and skill required to construct such a massive structure using the technology available back then.
Right.
Think about the generations of artisans and laborers who contributed to its creation.
Absolutely.
It's a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance.
And it's a reminder that those architectural marvels we admire today weren't built overnight.
Right.
They were the result of years, sometimes decades, of tireless effort and a shared vision.
Yeah.
It makes you appreciate the intricate details even more.
And let's not forget about that astronomical clock inside.
Oh, right.
To create something so intricate and precise back in the 1400s is mind-boggling.
It is.
It speaks to a level of scientific understanding and mechanical skill that we often take for granted today.
Those details are what transport us back in time, allowing us to connect with the ingenuity and artistry of people who lived centuries ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's a connection we can't replicate through textbooks or documentaries alone.
Right.
We need to experience it firsthand.
Speaking of experiencing history firsthand,
Mm-hmm.
that pirate ship tour to Westerplatte sounds like an incredibly powerful way to engage with the past.
Yeah.
Sailing past modern shipyards on the way to a site that witnessed the outbreak of World War II must create a very unique atmosphere.
It's a visual reminder of how time marches on even in a place so deeply marked by history.
Yeah.
The juxtaposition of the industrial present and the war-torn past must evoke a sense of reflection on how the city and the world have changed over time. The YouTuber mentioned exploring the ruins of the old barracks at Westerplatte, where those first shots were fired.
Right.
They described it as a sobering experience, walking among the crumbling concrete and remnants of conflict.
Wow.
It must be a very emotional place to visit.
It's a chilling reminder of the devastation of war, a place where history feels very real and very raw.
Yeah.
It's not just a tourist attraction, it's a site of memory, a place to reflect on the human cost of conflict.
It makes you wonder what it must be like for the people of Gdansk living in a city that bears such a heavy historical burden.
Right.
Do they carry a sense of sadness or anger? Or is there a sense of pride in their city's resilience, its ability to rise from the ashes?
Those are powerful questions, and I imagine the answers vary greatly depending on the individual and their own personal experiences.
Yeah.
It would be fascinating to explore those perspectives, to understand how the people of Gdansk reconcile their city's past with their present.
It's a reminder that history isn't just about dates and facts. It's about the human stories, the emotions, the legacies that shape who we are today.
Absolutely.
Gdansk seems to offer a profound opportunity to delve into those deeper layers of understanding.
And it's not just about the past.
Right.
We also need to consider the present and future of Gdansk, especially within the context of Tricity.
Okay.
Gdynia, with its modern port and maritime attractions, represents a different facet of the region's identity.
Okay.
It's a bustling hub of economic activity showcasing Poland's growth and global connections.
It's interesting how Tricity showcases the different dimensions of the region, from the historical weight of Gdansk to the modern energy of Gdynia and the elegant charm of Sopot.
Right.
It's a dynamic blend of old and new, tradition and innovation.
And each city offers its own unique perspective on the region's identity and its place in the world. Gdynia, with its focus on maritime trade and industry, highlights the economic forces shaping the region.
Right.
It's a reminder that Gdansk isn't just a historical relic. It's part of a thriving, evolving economic ecosystem.
And speaking of thriving, let's not forget about Sopot,
Right.
the longest wooden pier in Europe. That's something you don't see every day.
It's not.
It sounds like the perfect place to stroll along the waterfront, taking in the sea air and enjoying the views.
And let's not forget about that Crooked House.
Oh, right.
It's a whimsical architectural gem that seems to defy gravity.
Yeah.
It's amazing how Sopot seamlessly blends elegance with playfulness, offering something for everyone.
It's like the Cricket House is a symbol of Sopot's personality. A bit quirky, a bit charming, and definitely unforgettable.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what other surprises this seaside resort holds.
It certainly piques your curiosity, and it speaks to the diverse range of experiences that Tricity offers.
Yeah.
You can delve into history in Gdansk, explore the modern maritime world in Gdynia, and relax in the elegant charm of Sopot. It's a region that caters to a wide range of interests.
And let's not forget about the food.
Oh yes, the food.
Those pierogies in the YouTube video look absolutely delicious.
It did.
I can't wait to try some authentic Polish cuisine and experience the culinary side of Gdansk.
The YouTuber raved about the pierogi, describing them as flavorful and satisfying.
Yeah.
And they mentioned enjoying them in a cozy restaurant with a traditional wooden interior, which sounds like the perfect setting for a memorable meal.
Okay, now you're just making me hungry.
I know.
It sounds like Gdansk offers a feast for the senses, from its stunning architecture and historical sites to its delicious food and vibrant atmosphere.
It certainly does, but beyond the tangible experiences, I'm curious about the intangible aspects of Gdansk.
Okay.
What's the energy like? What's the pace of life? What are the people like?
Those are great questions. It's about capturing the essence of a place, the feeling you get when you walk down the streets, interact with the locals, and soak in the atmosphere.
Right.
It's those intangible qualities that truly make a travel experience memorable.
And it's often those subtle nuances that are the hardest to capture in words or images. It's about experiencing it firsthand, feeling the pulse of the city and connecting with its soul.
I'm already starting to feel a connection to Gdansk, even though I haven't been there yet.
Yeah,
It's like the more we learn about it, the more intriguing it becomes.
that's the beauty of exploration. It's about peeling back the layers, discovering the hidden gems, and uncovering the stories that make a place unique. And Gdansk seems to be a treasure trove of stories waiting to be told.
It really is amazing how much we've uncovered about Gdansk already, and it's got me thinking about the deeper layers, the human stories behind the historical facts and figures.
Right, yeah, that's where the real magic lies, in those individual experiences, the triumphs and struggles that shape a city's soul.
Like you were saying, Gdansk has weathered so many storms throughout history. It makes me wonder about the legacy of those events, how they've shaped the people, the culture, the very fabric of the city today.
Imagine the conversations you could have with locals, hearing their perspectives on Gdansk's past and their hopes for its future.
I would love to hear those stories, to understand how those experiences have influenced their outlook on life, their values, their sense of community.
Perhaps you'll meet someone who remembers the war years, or someone whose family has lived in Gdansk for generations, witnessing the city's transformation firsthand.
It's a reminder that travel isn't just about sightseeing. It's about connecting with people, hearing their stories and understanding their lives.
It's about stepping outside of our own bubbles and immersing ourselves in the richness of other cultures, other perspectives.
I'm starting to realize that Gdansk is more than just a destination on a map. It's a living, breathing community with a deep and complex history.
And it's a city that seems to embrace its contradictions, balancing the weight of its past with the energy of its present.
I'm thinking back to that image of the Westerplatte ruins juxtaposed against the backdrop of modern shipyards. It's a powerful symbol of that duality.
Yeah, it's a visual reminder of how Gdansk has evolved over time, adapting to changing circumstances while preserving its unique character.
It makes you wonder how the people of Gdansk navigate that balance in their daily lives, how they honor their heritage while embracing progress.
Perhaps you'll find answers in the bustling marketplaces, the cozy cafes, the quiet corners of the city where tradition and modernity intertwine.
But I'm eager to explore those spaces, to soak up the atmosphere, and to simply observe the rhythm of life in Gdansk.
It's in those everyday moments that we often find the most profound insights, the subtle details that reveal the true heart of a place.
Amidst all this talk of history and culture, I haven't forgotten about those pierogi.
Of course not.
I'm picturing myself enjoying a plate of them in a traditional restaurant, savoring the flavors and soaking up the ambiance.
Yeah. And perhaps you'll strike up a conversation with the server, learning about their favorite local dishes and their connection to the city.
It's those unexpected interactions, those spontaneous moments of connection that truly make a travel experience special.
And Gdansk seems to offer a wealth of opportunities for those kinds of encounters, whether it's chatting with a shopkeeper, sharing a smile with a passerby, or simply observing the locals going about their day.
I'm starting to feel a sense of excitement and anticipation building. I can't wait to experience Gdansk for myself, to delve into its history, its culture, and its people.
Remember, this deep dive is just the beginning. It's a springboard for your own explorations, your own discoveries.
I'm going to approach this journey with open eyes, an open mind, and an open heart, ready to embrace all that Gdansk has to offer.
And I have a feeling Gdansk will welcome you with open arms, revealing its secrets and sharing its stories with those who seek them.
Thank you for guiding me through this deep dive. It's given me a whole new appreciation for Gdansk, and it's sparked a sense of wonder and curiosity that I can't wait to explore further.
Safe travels and enjoy your journey. I have no doubt you'll return from Gdansk with a treasure trove of memories and a deeper understanding of this fascinating city.
I have a feeling this is just the beginning of my journey with Gdansk, and I can't wait to see